MTX has been in business for over 50 years in car audio. They just introduced a new line of Thunder Series amplifiers, including 2500 watt monoblock. Let's find out what it's all about. MTX started its history way back in the early 1970s with Lloyd Ivy and Ivy Electronics, eventually in the mid-80s switching over to MTX Audio as the name. Although originally known for their enclosed speakers and raw speaker drivers from names such as Terminator, Road Thunder, Blue Thunder, Black Gold, and many others, around 1990 they introduced amplifiers with the name Terminator and Blue Thunder. Later in the 90s came out with the Thunder series around 1995. Now fast forward 30 years to 2025 and MTX has introduced a new line of Thunder Series amplifiers, including 3 monoblocks, 2 4-channels, a 5-channel, and a 6-channel. We were sent over the largest monoblock, the 2500.1, for an independent review. So let's get the box cutter, find out what's inside. And here we see the retail box for the Thunder TH2500.1 amplifier, which looks to be silver finish. We'll get to the looks here in a minute once we get it open, but right here off the top you can see it includes a dyno certificate with some numbers. We'll show that later, talk about it in more depth. Also, we have an MTX sticker. We have a really nice owner's manual that includes all the amplifiers in the Thunder Series lineup. It includes all the specifications and details you need about your new Thunder Series amplifier. Also included is a remote bass cable, so you can connect your bass cable up to the front and have this wire going to the back of the vehicle. And of course, a remote bass knob. Very simple bass knob here. Just a potentiometer, a mounting device, and it's plastic. Not a whole lot going on here, but it does include a bass knob, so thank you for that. Also, we have Alan's keys. He sent us 3 different keys, as well as some mounting screws for this amplifier. You'll see why we need 3 keys here in a little bit. And here is the Thunder TH2500.1. It is shining. It is reflecting the sun. It is looking nice. Nice and heavy. Very thick heat sink. Feels good in the hand. Let's take a closer look. All the Thunder Series amplifiers sport this brushed aluminum finish with the black accents. And there's 2 screws here at the top that will loosen up so that we can take off this front panel to give us more access to the controls on the amplifier. And there you can see, the panel is nice. It is aluminum as well. Everything feels nice and quality here from this amplifier. There's the model number, TH2500.1. Let's make our way down the amplifier and see all the different options here for settings. Here on the left, we'll see the bass remote jack. They call it an EBC, electronic bass control. Tiffany style RCA inputs here. There are 2 inputs left and right, but it is a monoblock amplifier. Speaker output, 4 gauge. Just one of those. We'll talk about that later. Also, the Protect LED here, which comes on momentarily as you boot up the amplifier. We have power, remote, and ground. The power and ground are 0 gauge. The remote is around 12 gauge. Again, on the top of the amplifier on the right side, we'll see the model number TH2500.1. All the way down the left, though, we'll see the low-pass filter, 250 Hz down to 50 Hz. That is 24 dB per octave. We'll see the bass boost from 0 to 12 dB. Subsonic filter, 55 Hz down to 10 Hz. Also a phase selector. This is a switch. It is not variable, from 0 to 180 degrees. Also, we have the gain control, and this amplifier can accept up to 10 volts of input. We also have a clipping indicator here on the right, because if you're clipping, then you're tripping. As far as dimensions go, on the long side, 14.5 inches, 7 inches for the width, 2 inches for the height. Millimeter equivalents are there as well. As for ratings, at 4 ohms, 1000 watts, 2 ohms, 1750, 1 ohm, 2500. This is a Class D monoblock. Now, we did ask some questions to MTX about the amplifier. First question was, what makes the new amplifier line stand out from the competitors? MTX says the goal for the new Thunder amplifier line is to give the customer an upper, mid to high-end amplifier at a mid-level price point. Unlike most competitors, all models are CTA 2006D certified with power to spare. and feature 24 dB per octave crossovers, Tiffany-style RCAs, and an upgraded preamp stage to ensure excellent sound quality and precise tunability. I have other questions I asked them as well, and I'll be going over those as we go through the video. Now let's get the amp wired up and fired up here on the bench. You can see the protect light comes on, the fan comes on, then the protect light goes off, and the MTX logo at the top is lit up with a red LED. So now let's fire up the SMD DeMoor Engineering Amplifier dyno so we can perform the test to find out the true output power. If you haven't seen these tests before, on the left, the power output in watts, in the middle, the ohm load, on the right, the voltage of the dyno. We'll also have the remote clamp so that we can estimate this amplifier's efficiency. All of these tests will be run at 40 Hertz. Of course, it is a monoblock amplifier. Let's try 4 ohms. It's rated 1000 watts at 14.4 volts. Here we go, certified test up to 1% distortion. Can we get that 1000? Yes. 1573, although our voltage is just a little bit high at 14.5. So we're just a little bit over the 14.4, but we're killing it here with the power output. Uncertified to clipping over 1600, 1615 at 14.48. These amplifiers definitely put out more power than they state. Let's try dynamic, which sends a pulse tone into the amplifier, kind of like a kick drum. This amp is kicking it for sure with over 1600 watts, 1609 at 14.6. Let's go back to question number 2 to MTX. Does MTX engineer the amplifier design or use an off-the-shelf design? MTX amplifiers are co-developed with our factory using validated platforms that have been updated to meet our specific performance targets and optimized for sound quality. Let's hear some of that. This amp had great control over the subwoofer in the test. We'll see more as we go along. Let's try 2 ohms mono rated 1750 at 14.4. Certified test up to 1% distortion, 40 Hertz. Can we get it? Oh, easily. 2345, 2,345 watts at 14.36. So we're even under voltage and getting way over what it's rated. Uncertified takes us up to the clipping point. We should get more, and we do. Over 2500, we get 2512 at 14.22. Now let's try that dynamic track, sending that quick pulse tone of 40 Hertz into the amplifier, getting even more power. Over 2600, it keeps climbing. 2675 at 14.36. Question 3, is 2500 watt mono the most powerful MTX car audio amp you've ever made? The TH2500.1 is not the most powerful MTX amplifier made, but it is the largest mono amplifier we have produced in some time. A true 2500 watt at 1 ohm with plenty of headroom provides ample power for even the most power-hungry subs or multi-sub installations. So what was the largest amplifier MTX ever made? Do you know? If so, leave a comment below and tell us. We can discuss it more in the comments section. Since we know this amplifier does almost 2500 watts at 2 ohms, what can it do at 1 ohm? It's rated 2500 watts at 14.4. Certified test first up to 1% distortion. Easily get 2500. We get 2902 at well under the voltage at 14.18. So let's reset the dyno here for the uncertified test, which takes us up to the clipping point. And let's watch these numbers climb well above 3000 watts. 3306 at 14 volts. Awesome power. Now let's reset the dyno one last time here for the dynamic test. Send that pulse track of 40 Hertz into the amp. And check this out. Over 4,000, over 4,500, actually over 4,600. We got 4601 at 14.5 volts. As for the results, check them out here. You can pause this if you want to. Even at 8 ohms, it did almost 1,000 watts. Every single test, it exceeded the ratings of the amplifier. Efficiency was good at 8 ohms and 4 ohms, 2 ohms as well. 1 ohm dropped a little bit down to 62%. Question 4, what testing process does MTX utilize with car audio amplifiers? During development, all MTX amplifiers are tested using audio precision test equipment to confirm they meet all specifications. Prototype units are subjected to rigorous endurance testing in our Phoenix facility to confirm reliability and long-term in-car testing to ensure they are viable in real-world installations. Once we are satisfied with the performance, all models are tested by a third party for an objective assessment of the performance and to obtain certification to the CTA 2006D standard for 12-volt amplifiers. Furthermore, during production, MTX amplifiers are subjected to rapid aging and protection circuit tests before sound and function tests are performed at all impedances. Automated audio precision tests then used to confirm adherence to specifications and to capture the max dynamic output power that is recorded on the MTX dyno sheets included with the amplifiers. Now that's all good and well, but how does it perform with a sub? Let's see. I don't usually talk a lot about sound quality, especially with subwoofers, but this amplifier sounded great and controlled the W7 subwoofer nice. Let's take off some of the screws here on the bottom of the amp to find out what's inside. Here's the bottom panel, again, which is polished or brushed aluminum, and here are the guts. Check out the transformers, the chokes, the capacitors, the MTX logo here on the center of the amplifier. Again, these are in-house designs from MTX. We love to see the Nichicon capacitors, 4700 microfarad, 25 volts here on the power supply. We have the AuDCap 1500 microfarad, 80 volts for the rails. And there you have it. The guts of the TH2500.1. Nicely laid out. Amplifier looks great, sounds great. But now we got to move on to the pros and cons. Includes the things I like and the things I think that could be better. Let's talk about the good stuff. Clean looks. Nichicon capacitors, 24 dB per octave crossovers, high quality potentiometers that make the clicky sounds so you don't have to worry about your gains creeping. Bass remote is included. Also Tiffany style RCAs. It has active cooling with the fan and a 2-year warranty. Things that could be better. It has a single speaker output even though it's 4 gauge. I like to see 2 8-gauge speaker outputs instead, just easier to hook up multiple speakers. There's no clip light on the remote. It has low efficiency relatively at 1 ohm. It does have fan noise, but you shouldn't hear it if you're bumping. And the cover plate is not magnetic. It needs one of Allen's keys. And the final question to MTX, how does the price point of these amplifiers compare to the competitors? Thunder amplifiers are competitively priced with mid-level amplifiers from other reputable brands. In this case, the 2500.1, $699.95 is the MSRP. There you have it, the Thunder Series TH2500.1 with a 2-year warranty. Also the in-house design by MTX, designed for durability and longevity. And I'll do some more tests at the end of this video if you'll stick around to watch those. Overall, the amp was impressive, stands up to the MTX name in the Thunder lineup. I really like the look. I think you'll be happy with it. And although it's not rated for under 1 ohm, let's try it.
40,000 at 0 ohm. 0.
Well, not quite 0, but we will try 0.8 certified to 1% distortion, and we get almost identical to what we got at 1 ohm. So it's not going to benefit you to run this thing any lower than 1 ohm, but it does work, as you can see here. Uncertified up to clipping. Let's see what we get. Again, not a whole lot different than we got at 1 ohm. We get 34.53 at 14 volts. And then we tried the dynamic test at 0.8. Now this one is a little more, as you can probably imagine, over 5,000 watts. 5190 at 14.6, kicking it. MTX Thunder style. Thanks as always for watching. Make sure you leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Till next time, Big D, back to the testing. I'm out of here.